USDA sends thousands of surveys to hemp farmers to understand industry growth and challenges. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, is sending out thousands of surveys to hemp farmers across the country to better understand the state of the industry as part of its annual data collection initiative. USDA launched its first annual survey in 2021, and it updated the questionnaire last year before distributing it to farmers and releasing a report with findings that showed significant declines in the value and production of the crop in 2022. As in past rounds, the department's latest survey that was distributed on Monday asked questions about plans for outdoor hemp production, acreage for operation, primary and secondary uses for the crop, and what kinds of price producers are able to bring in. The questionnaire lists preparations such as smokable hemp, grain for human consumption, fiber, and seeds as areas USDA is interested in learning more about. The survey, which is being sent to 6,000 farmers, also asked about hemp harvested to extract CBD, CBG, CBN, and all the other alphabet soup of cannabinoids and or terpenes for use in oils, lotions, cleansers, bath products, and other nutraceutical and tropical products. The hemp production and disposition inquiry will provide critical data about the hemp industry to assist producers, regulatory agencies, state governments, processors, and other key and industry entities, reads a quote USDA attributed to various agency officials in regional versions of a press release about the survey. Results of the survey will be published on USDA's website on April 17th in preparation for April 20th. The questionnaire also goes on over whether farmers are hand trimming the hemp they produce and what kinds of yields they've harvested and how they obtain the seeds and clothes they use. In 2020, USDA announced plans to distribute a separate national survey to gain insights from thousands of hemp businesses that could inform its approach to regulating the industry. That survey, launched in partnership with the National Association of State Department of Agriculture and the University of Kentucky, that department said it wanted to learn about current production costs, production practices, and marketing practices for hemp. Meanwhile, the USDA is reportedly revoking hemp licenses for farmers who are simultaneously growing marijuana under state-approved programs, underscoring yet another policy conflict stemming from the ongoing federal prohibition of some forms of the cannabis plant. Federal hemp rules could be further amended as part of the next iteration of large-scale agricultural legislation. The 2018 Farm Bill that legalized the crop was supposed to get updated last year, but it's been extended through much of 2024. Lawmakers and policy and stakeholders are eyeing a number of proposals that could be incorporated, including measures to free up hemp businesses to legally market products like CBD as dietary supplements, or into the food industry to remove restrictions on participation in the industry by people with certain prior drug convictions. For the time being, the hemp industry continues to face unique regulatory hurdles that stakeholders blame for the crop's value plummeting in the short years since its legislation. Despite the economic conditions, however, a recent report found that the hemp market in 2022 was larger than all state marijuana markets, and it is roughly equivalent sales for craft beer nationally. Meanwhile, internally at the USDA, food safety workers are being encouraged to exercise caution and avoid cannabis products, including federally legal CBD, as the agency observed an uptick in positive THC levels and confusion as more states enact legislation. This is Yarrow Kubrin, High at 9 News. I'd like to hear what my other panelists think.
Oh man, they're giving out a survey, bro. Are you serious, Yarrow? We might actually get somewhere with this.
It's the census of cannabis.
Cannacensus?
Oh man.
Can they come up with consensus?
Can I sense this? But we do want to read out. We did get a super chat. So we want to make sure that we read that. This is from Sam Romaine. He says, derivatives aren't evil. Access to anything is better than nothing, and gatekeeping politicians are evil.
Okay, I mean,
bars right there.
Yeah,
I want to say categorically disagree. Look at all the stuff they put in our look at all the stuff they put in our food that we find is keeping us sick, is making our lives toxic, and that's okay. There's a standard for that, and that's okay. But it's because it's access. Mm-hmm. They want to give us access to shitty food and toxic food, and that's okay. That's better than healthy food. That's exactly what you're saying, Sam. I disagree. I think that I think that it's a form. It's just, again, it's because there's people that see the law. There's creative entrepreneurs out there that want to get around that law, and they want to serve somebody who's in need, right? And there's a lot of people in need, but I'm saying give them the right thing, give them the THC, give them the option. But the problem is we bifurcate the system into hemp and into THC. It's all the same damn thing. The chemical gradient in the plant with terpenes and other cannabinoids is the thing that differentiates that plant. There shouldn't be a law differentiating it. The nature does that. And whether you want a high THC variety or a low THC variety and higher in a different cannabinoid, you should have that choice. We should be able to deliver all of those choices to every one of these people in need in the country, in the world. But it shouldn't be bifurcated based on nothing, based on not like non-logic, based on just a misrepresentation of what it is. And it's now perpetuated because people want to stay in business, Sam. So it's like, dude, what are we doing here? We're not taking the opportunity to steward the, Mother Nature and this plant properly. We're just falling back to whatever it is that makes us turn into like greedy, money hungry monsters. So let's not do that.
Oh boy.
If I may, I think when we talk about synthetic derived cannabinoids, the word synthetic becomes confusing because people would naturally think that means that it's not natural. And what we're talking about is secondary extraction processes. I think there's an argument that there is a very slippery slope there because the science isn't in. And so naturally derived hemp-based concentrates, I think, is probably a safer route for an industry that probably wants to start self-regulating before it gets over-regulated. And when Saman talks about the toxicity in our food, I mean, there's a reason why my man has a gray hair at 37 on his chinny chin. So we really
That's because the industry. That's because this industry and nothing else. But Yarrow, you're wrong though. This synthetic conversion process, it's a chemical based process. So you're adding a lot of really toxic acids and bases to this mixture, and then you're distilling your cannabinoid out and distilling it and saying it's free of all these things. People give. I know, but the way you said it.
Do we have Mary back? Mary, are you back, Mary? Are you back? We still don't hear you.
Oh.
I don't hear Mary. Mary, what is going on? What did you do? What did you hit? Yeah, you might have to.
Yeah, reboot, because I want to hear your article and I want to hear what you have to say. And I can only disagree. I can only agree with Saman so much. Saman, I may have said it in a way that may not have been clear, but I am absolutely agreeing with you that secondary process, even if you're able to get a cannabinoid as an end result, is a slippery slope in a place where I think the industry is probably going to want to stay on the safer, more conservative side of only using cannabinoids that don't require that process to be created.
Yeah, natural.
Yes, we're saying the same thing. I just don't have any gray on my chin, but I think that we are absolutely saying the same thing. I think that things that are able to be created through extraction are different than things that are able to be created through a secondary process.
What we're saying was created through extraction. It's just we're concentrating those naturally occurring chemicals in the plant. We're not changing the chemical composition of what's there in the base.
That's right.
We're making it more concentrated.
I think the problem is the feds need to word. We were talking about in the chat right here, talking about like synthesis versus synthetic there, and Americans not knowing like the differences in the processes there. And it's kind of like, lightly alludes back to my story when I was talking about synthetics. And a lot of Floridians probably have a little bit of PTSD from synthetic
bath salts.
Synthetic. So they were calling it synthetic marijuana.
They did call it synthetic.
Those are just chemicals. Those are just chemicals.
No, spice was not just chemicals.
That's what this
spice was not just chemicals. No.
Spice is a lot of chemicals.
They were calling it that. They were calling it synthetic marijuana.
Yeah, that's what they were calling it.
And spice.
Look, guys, I'm gonna read a story about how hot sauce are made next week for you guys. How about that?
Amazing. If you find
the problem is the definition of cannabis by the feds, right? It's only require Delta 9, to be.
But that's just how
you don't have scientists in Congress. When you don't have scientists in Congress, you don't have smart people in Congress. They pass dumb shit that nobody understands.
There's only a couple of scientists in Congress. There's only a couple of them. They're
it's smart for the entrepreneur to go and work around the laws and do something, but it's just not good for the plant. It's not good for the people. And you know what I mean? It needs to be changed. For sure.
That's exactly right.
Mary, are you back with us?
Smart.
Mary?
It's not good.
Stop it.
You could just mime to us. Yeah. Just mime the story.
Yes.
We can sign it.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I wish you knew sign language. That would be really cool. If she signed the story.
Remember the dope ass the dope ass sign language lady from when your boy what's his name from NIH, Jason? Your homeboy?
Who?
Your boy from NIH. The guy, the COVID guy with the glasses.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. There she's back.
There you go.
There she is.
All right, yes. I'm back.
All right.
I just want to say that the hemp world has made the most massive fumble, the regulations and the farm bill, basically. They fumbled everything. And hemp should be used more than just as a consumption, product. And we should be using it environmentally across the board, because I believe, as somebody who has studied and reported on the environment extensively at this point, we could be using hemp to help fight our woes, clean our soil, and also be using it as a tool for industry that's going to have considerably less greenhouse gases emissions, and it could really help do all kinds of different things for the environment, and we're just simply not even doing that. So I don't know. We're really dropping the ball. We're not using it in the way that we should, and that's how I feel.
That's right. Hemp should be an industrial product. All the corn farmers in the United States should start growing hemp.
Yes.
It's government subsidized.
Yep.
And we can become an industrial nation by creating everything from hemp.
That's right.
From paper to rope and buildings.
Jobs.
Isn't it crazy that what stops us from becoming the industrial powerhouse that we once was is capitalism?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Biofuels.
Fucked up. Hemp could save the planet, could save the United States economy. Yep. It just can, and it should. And some smart politician, I know that's an oxymoron, should glom on to that idea, make it happen.
Mm-hmm.